So what we're going to have is we're first going to start with a video called Judicial Wisdom. It was a video that was thought about for last year, but we unfortunately didn't have enough time to get it finalized. So this year we went out and actually Garo Martirosyan and Armenian, who's in the back of the room too, they actually dedicated their time and called up judges, retired and active judges of Armenian origin, and asked them to provide interviews to us and to archive their interviews so that we can put together a video which has information about the Armenian heritage and the role that the Armenian bar has played in the judiciary. So I'm going to ask Garo Martirosyan to come up here. He's going to give us a few words about the video. And for those of us that know Garo is a very accomplished lawyer in the Los Angeles community. He's won the Trial Lawyer of the Year by the largest organization, the plaintiffs' organization, the 2000 Trial Lawyer of the Year. He was actually the president of the organization also in 2010. He has a busy practice in the Mid-Wilshire area. And he's been somebody who, when people ask for help or they need things taken care of in the community, or even lawyers that seek out help, he's always lent a lending hand. And he's been practicing for almost 40 years now. So Garo, come on up here.
Yeah, thanks. Well, full disclosure, Armin works with me. He happens to be my nephew. So all that you heard is a good, big political advertising. So don't believe half of that. First of all, let me just start off by saying, Patty, thank you for being here. Kirk and George are looking down. You have a big smile on your face. Thank you very much. Let me just say that. So, look, it's just an honor to be here amongst such great colleagues and wonderful judges. We had this task to meet with and interview 10 Armenian judges, and 9 out of the 10 made it. Only one could not make it, and that was Justice Baxter. Judge Baxter is retired, and he and his wife Jane were about to leave on a trip, and they are right now cruising in the Mediterranean. So they were on their way then from there to South Korea and then to Japan, but he spent about 45 minutes talking to me about the organization, about becoming a judge, and some of the very interesting things he told me about that I'm going to share with you. Hopefully you'll find them also interesting. You see, his last name was originally Bagdasarian, but his family had changed it to Baxter. What he tells me happened is that his dad had a gas station, did well, and then along came Chevy, and Chevrolet wanted him to open up a dealership. The dealership was at a particular designated spot, which was a very small sign. They could not fit an Armenian last name in that sign, he tells me, so they had to chop down his last name from Bagdasarian to Baxter. And then he said, you know, there was a lot of encouragement along the way. Before I ever became a judge, I learned to be student body president of the university that I attended. That was the Bulldogs of Fresno State. And so he said, can I do it? And Armenian, everybody knows Armenian, even though I've got this last name. I'll never make it. And then he saw, down in LA, at USC, Carl Terzian and Wally Craven, our state speaker of the House, become the student body presidents of USC. And that gave me the encouragement that I needed to run for the student body presidency of Fresno State, and he won. And he won. I was talking to Judge Tilvisia, and most of these judges luckily came to my office where we had the twins. That would be motion lit, both Bache and Bahe, they are twin brothers, Garmidian, that put together, we had many, many hours of video. They took all that, and we said, please, can you condense it down to 10 minutes or less? And they did it. They somehow did it. And you watch this, I think you'll be amazed at what the twins did. So shout out to Bahe and Bache Garmidian. Now, so I meet up with Judge Tilvisia, and he starts telling me, he goes, me and Mark, we go way back. I go, what are you talking about? He goes, back when, you know, those early 60s, I knew him because he had this 59 Corvette. convertible Corvette, which he still owns, 60 years. He still takes that out on weekends with his wife Jane. He says, you know, I used to drive up because my family also had some land up there. Where don't they have land, your family? And so we'd go up and we'd cruise the boulevard over there every Saturday. He said, we'd be in these hot rods, revving with the music going on, gals and dolls running between cars, and you know, us wearing our Letterman jerseys and jackets. And then, you know, he'd be in this '59 Corvette. Everybody loved that Corvette. And then everything tells me that he was only the third judge to be sworn in of Armenian origin in Los Angeles. The first was Judge Armenian, who went alphabetical order. The second was Judge Arabian. Judge Armenian's son is also a judge who's here with us today. And so the link there is that Judge Arabian found out that Suzanne Bugera, Judge Bugera, retired now, was a DA and an AG, and he met her at some event, I think a legal event, and he found out that she was Armenian and said, you're Armenian, you ought to become a judge like me. She goes, me a judge? How could I? Okay, maybe I can. So it's that encouragement from other fellow Armenians that helps us all rise. And we thank Judge Bugera and of course Judge Arabian, both Arabian and Armenian past, but we will miss them dearly. Now, as far as our honorees are concerned, I just ran into Justice Bendix and her husband, John, just over this weekend on Sunday at our local farmers market. And both of them were in shorts. You never know that these people are such high-powered individuals, and yet they are so humble. Many years ago, about 12 years ago, when my son was just a little boy, as a drummer boy, we went trick-or-treating, and we happened to be at their home. As soon as they saw my son, our kids all went to the same school, you see. They brought him in, gave him cookies and brownies, and treated us like family, as they always have. So much that, not too many years ago, their daughter, Jessica, who's here today, who was setting some remarkable records in the DA's office, winning trial after trial after trial. And I'm afraid one day she's going to be better than all of us put together. And she is one of the smartest young ladies. And so, about 10 years ago or so, I had this trial involving, I won't name the manufacturer, but it was an auto manufacturer who we thought had a roof that was not crash-worthy and an occupant restraint system that wasn't appropriate. And so I asked my daughter, I asked other friends, who do you think could be our surrogate? I don't want to go out and pay hundreds of dollars. Do you have a friend? They go, a friend, athletic, strong, that could get in the car, turn upside down, and not dive into the roof and break their neck? Jessica. so I said, well, can you ask her to see if she'll do it? She did. She came over to my office. We had a biomechanical engineer. We have this thing called a buck, which is a quarter of a car. We put her on a spit, got her inside, got her belt on, turned it upside down, and to see if she would dive into the roof or not. We didn't want her to dive, trust me. Because the defense always says people dive into the roofs and break their necks. She did, obviously, and she's here with us. So that's our father. Thank you all. And I'm going to end this with a great demonstration for being here. And now we're going to have this only 8-minute video roll. So hope you love it. Thank you very much.
As Armenian Americans living in the land of the free, we pride ourselves in the opportunities this country offers to its diverse cultures, making it possible to live unsuppressed and prosper indefinitely.
It's a profession I've been looking forward to being a part of for many years as a law student and lawyer, and I've been happy to be a Superior Court judge in Santa Clara County for 26.5 years so far.
I had the opportunity to serve the public, to serve the judiciary, and held with honor and distinction.
I see that as my role in terms of providing access to the community.
I was born in Iran. I'm Armenian, and I realized what a great opportunity I had here. I became a judge, and I am so grateful, and it's an honor to be here.
I ended up coming here on a big boat 21 days across the ocean in 1953. My father and mother's families were here, so we ended up in Los Angeles. I had the privilege of working at the Attorney General's office. And you know, God is good. I was there when George Duke Machen happened to be the Attorney General. Felt so privileged to have that opportunity.
From the day I arrived in America as a young 14-year-old with my mother and father and my young sister, it has been an incredible experience, an incredible journey that one never forgets, and to realize how difficult it was for my parents who thought of the opportunity to come to America with their family and to make a new life for themselves, start all over again, was an incredible experience that I'm very fortunate to have been part of.
I've learned, as almost every Armenian alive today has learned, how to persevere, how to overcome hardships, and how to succeed despite a very troubled and calamitous background of Armenian people.
It is the central role of our United States judges who maintain order, apply laws, and enforce rules of the court that constitutes the greatest nation on earth. Today, we celebrate the distinguished men and women judges that have triumphed in their careers and set new heights for the future generations.
I think every story of an Armenian who lives in the diaspora starts with the genocide. I think all of us trace our roots back to that period of time.
And I am ever aware, grateful to them and aware that whatever I accomplish in my life, whatever things I overcome, pale in comparison to their life experience.
You know, the phrase justice is often thrown about in our job as judges. However, I think it plays a very significant part and has a significant meaning in the Armenian community. The Armenian community has not seen justice in over 100 years.
Immense values of the American legal system is its ability to keep a check on things so that the kind of wild brutality and hideous barbarism that our ancestors were subjected to will not go unchecked and will not proceed from a powerful country and powerful government like the government of the United States or the government of California.
For many years there were no Armenian lawyers, and who would speak up for us? So the Armenian Bar Association, Armenian lawyers have done a very good job about educating the public about who the Armenians are.
But we didn't have a lot of Armenian women on the bench, especially in those years.
The time of my appointment with the Armenian Bar Association was in its infancy. They supported my nomination and my appointment, and I'm grateful to that. And since that time, the organization has grown greatly.
The Armenian Bar Association plays an incredibly important role in our community, especially, but also in the bar in general, in the legal profession in general. It's a 30-year history now from its founding, which was just 2 years before the founding of the modern Armenian Republic.
The Armenian Bar Association, Armenian lawyers have done a very good job about educating the public about who the Armenians are.
It did get me to know very amazing lawyers.
The Armenian lawyers now graduated from law school were able to secure positions with many of the prominent law firms, national law firms and international law firms throughout the United States.
You have a responsibility to be an example. I had an opportunity.
I think the Armenian Bar Association plays a very important role. Like it or not, we're in an era of identity politics. You're identified a lot of times by immutable characteristics. For me, it's, and many people in the Armenian Bar Association, it's our Armenian heritage.
I believe in DNA memory, and I have instinctive reactions to things that kind of surprise me sometimes. My first trip to Armenia was in June of this year. We landed in the darkness, and I get off the plane, and the first person I see is a young woman working for the airline at the top of the jetway. I say to her in my pretty good Armenian, "This is my first trip here." And she looked back at me and said, "We've been waiting for you. Welcome home."
Make up the very fabric of our country, which is why we honor and pay tribute to those leaders who fight for the everyday battle to uphold the law. From the members of the Armenian Bar Association, we recognize and celebrate the accomplishments of our judges.